I'm gonna make my case for why we should draft Justin Fields and why. All right.
Oh,
So
beautiful. Thank you.
so I know there's been a lot of Justin Fields on your channel, and that's mostly been like, well, he's a poor man's Cam Newton, right? But I'm gonna make my argument of why we should get him and now, right?
Please
If
do.
we have
Because the context
Mhm.
is I just saw Charlie Casserly's mock draft. They had him falling to 24. I was like, wow. So anyway,
I
he
don't
could be there for the Niners. So let's talk.
All right. So if you talk about a Super Bowl window for the 49ers, I'm going to say it's pretty much right now. And the reason why I say now is because our next year's schedules is easy, pretty slight. And I'm thinking if there's any quarterback that's going to, take us far during that run, what I'm saying, for that easy schedule, I don't see Kellen Mond doing that. I really like Kellen Mond. I'm a fan, but I'm saying you can't start him at the beginning of the season in his rookie season and expect him to go very far. But I'm saying if you put Justin Fields, probably the highest chance of making a playoff run, which is rare for a rookie, but that's my take on it.
See, that's interesting. When I watch Fields and Mond, what I see with Fields is a guy who's more athletic, has a higher upside, but is less polished. When I watch Kellen Mond, I see a guy who's mobile, who's a good athlete, not as athletic as
he has
freaking Justin Fields, but he does have the tools. I like that about Mond, but not like the tools that Fields has. Not even close.
Right. He's got
what
the
he
arm,
has is
the legs.
He's got all the experience. And when I watch the coach's film, I see a guy who basically goes to the right spot more often than not. Fields, I feel like, isn't there yet. And I don't know if he ever will be there. But he might get there. I actually think Fields is going to struggle early on. I think Mond might be closer to what he might be closer to a finished product.
Definitely. Also, I think that Fields is a good fit, especially in the Shanahan system where the throws are going to be easy for him. It's not like he's going to be asked to do a lot, and they're not going to make him like a pocket passer like they would Jimmy, because eventually they just had Jimmy stop running out of the pocket, and then he was just getting smacked around because McGlinchey can't hold a pass for his life. But I think if you put Fields in there, he's able to run around a little bit, and he's going to be able to hand it off to Raheem Mostert. You could throw an end around to Deebo Samuel. I think it would be a really good fit for him, and I really think you can't miss on him if the Niners do take him.
See, I guess I keep coming back to like Sam Darnold. I watched Sam Darnold a couple weeks ago, and I saw like, wow, this guy can't execute. Like, he's a good athlete, but he doesn't know where to go with the ball, and he's missing open receivers. So yeah, it's Adam Gase's fault to an extent, but actually there's people open, and he's not seeing them. And I see that with Justin Fields too. Like at Ohio State, there's a guy open every play. And it takes him a while to find the guy, but he has all the time and space in the pocket he needs. And if he doesn't find the guy, he can just, I'll just run for 15 yards. Exactly. So he can do whatever he wants to do. I think in the NFL, he's going to have to be more refined. I mean, Dak Prescott doesn't play that way.
Also, I know we haven't seen Shanahan develop a lot of quarterbacks, but one thing to think about is I was watching the film with George Kittle. He did like an interview with the NFL, and he was talking about how Shanahan said, if you drop your head to the left, like the safety will drop you. Like when you're telling your players to do that and you get like really deep into the game, I think it'll be a lot easier for Justin Fields. And I think he will be able to coach him and develop him better than definitely a Jimmy Garoppolo. And his upside could be huge. Like, what if he really is the next Cam Newton, but, he's Justin Fields now? So,
yeah, I it's possible, man. I think he needs a lot of development. I think he needs
definitely,
a lot, because Ohio State doesn't do it. It's partially their fault. Like what they're at, they don't make him do much at the line of scrimmage. He looks at everyone looks at the sideline. The coaches tell him what to do.
And you have 5-star recruits all around.
Everywhere, people are open. You have time. You're winning. Your defense is great. I mean, even if you mess up,
receivers, running back, it's all given to you.
Like, yeah, when he played against Northwestern or Indiana, I mean, he threw all these picks and it didn't matter. They won. So I don't know. Like, what happens is if you start playing like that on the Jets and they lose, everyone's going to blame you. And it's not even your fault, really. It's just that you don't have Ohio State backing you anymore. And that's how these guys get our busts, because there's too many expectations.
You're
on the Jets.
Yeah. So you can't really blame them,
Only thing about the Niners, I feel like until they get an offensive line, you're really, not really putting any quarterback. Yes, it's dangerous that you're not putting any quarterback in a position to succeed. So all of a sudden, Field starts getting hit a little bit. They realize he doesn't know what to do against the blitz. Now you're
right.
risking your investment.
even if the Niners had the #1 pick and we're like, okay, we're getting Trevor Lawrence, our offensive line, you can't keep him alive. I mean, he's going to get eaten alive. It
Look what
really
happened in
would be
Cincinnati
scary.
last year. It just happened.
That's
It
true.
just freaking happened. It's like, well, were the Bengals wrong to draft Joe Burrow? Not necessarily,
No,
but look what happened.
Those are their choices, though.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. I got to watch more Justin Fields. I guess the thing about the final thing I'll say to you is anyone who wants to take Justin Fields in round 1, you got to tell me what the issue was against Indiana and Northwestern. Like, explain those games to me. Yeah, I know every player has bad games, but that dude, like 100%. Mac Jones didn't have those games this year.
But Mac Jones didn't have
Alabama. Yeah, but dudes at Ohio State, they're both very good teams. I mean, that's true. They both recruit at the top. So what happened?
I think the final thing to say about Justin Fields is he's a good pick depending on where you get him. If you have to trade up to 2 to 5 or 7, then it really depends what you have to give up for it. And if you truly believe that you're going to be able to give him an O-line to where he can succeed. Because if you trade up to number 2 and you have Mike McGlinchey as your starting right tackle and he's the best person to count on, I mean, you may as well just throw away next season.
Right. I mean, honestly, he's got the weapons, he's got the run game, he's got the coordinator, but
you got a
the offensive line is key. Yeah, right. No question. But the offensive line is key.
Definitely. And again, they might do a 29. They might do a 2019 where they have George Kittle blocking most of the time, and that's what makes the O-line look good. And they're like, oh, see, look, McGlinchey's great. We don't need an upgrade because you have Kittle blocking right next to him.
Yeah, I don't know. True. I don't know. All right, man. I'm gonna be more open-minded about Justin Fields, but go back and watch those games and think about what happened there. Because to me, I don't see necessarily. I just see that was the indicator of his inexperience. Like that's where you're saying like maybe he's gonna take a couple of years, and that's fine. It took Josh Allen a couple of years too.